What's up? What's up? Can y'all hear me? Yes, I guess you can. What's up, Robin? What's up, CDP? What's up, Ida Wallace and Southern Nobleman? And who is this 60 and thick one? Okay, that's interesting. Good morning. What's up, Miss Douglas? How you doing, baby? What's up, Sherry R? Well, anyway, you all, I'm just coming on. Child, I was over at YouTube cameras. This is like, girl, it is. What's up, Tampa Red? Girl, I was like, nah, no. I'm like, ooh, girl, let me come on over here and get on the other morning show. Oh my God, she giving CBS this morning, and honey, I'm gonna give y'all Good Morning America, cause honey, she using all that old music. I'm like, girl, and I like her. I do like she, but baby, she be like, and let me tell you what he did, and I'm like, girl, girl. Anyway, I'm here, and she does get good information, child. But I was about to go to sleep in the shower, in the shower, putting on the water and things and soap, and my eyes was like, oh Jesus. I said, let me hurry up and come on for the sake of these people, because honey, baby, it was giving very snooze. But anyway, mm, I got my coffee. But y'all, let's start talking about this thing. I'm not a lemon person, so this is what I'm gonna talk about it and get it over with. Um, so somebody's supposed to become for lemon. All right. Okay. And okay. Boom. That's it. Pals, did you see Real Live? He asked some really good question for Brian. He asked, would Brian still accept their child if they came out as trans? Oh, Ro is trolling. Ro is trolling Brian. Ro is trolling Brian. Ro is trying to be Brian's worst enemy. Ro is trolling Brian. And I don't think Ro want to be with Brian. I just think Ro is trolling Brian because he knows it gets to Brian. And I think that's what Ro doing. That's what I think Ro is doing. Ro don't care. Ro didn't care about Mississippi. It gave Ro content. And I just think that Ro is trolling Brian. And I think that Ro gets under Brian's skin. I think Brian liked Ro. I think Brian still likes Ro. And Ro is like not reciprocating. And I think that this is what's going on. I don't believe the police came to the house until I got it. Child, I don't even care. Can I say this? Honest Rose said he believes Brian would just end up returning the kid. You know what? I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing, Jehovah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. When it got really hard, and he'd be like, look, adoption people, this is too tough. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was telling him he need that doll that cry and holler and that you gotta change, because that ain't no joke. That's the infant phase. Then you got that terrible 2 phase. Then, then they gotta be teenagers. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I thought that same thing. But anyway, I thought that same thing, Jehovah. I ain't gonna lie. But like I said, it is what it is. I think Ro is trolling Brian. What y'all saying? Just be a godfather. Yeah, because he ain't committed to none of these relationships, child. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. So anyway, I don't care about that lemon thing. So Lemon said he called the police. Somebody did this, and the third, yada yada yada. Oh, who cares? I don't care. Moving right along. Tommy, what happened to your pages? Now, the last thing I saw, Tommy was drinking a beer down there at the camera. Cause I ain't never seen Tommy drink no water. I ain't never seen a bottle of water in his hands, on his lips. Only thing I've seen is beer, that silver and blue can. But baby, they said they snatched all the channels. Baby, they said you can't come nowhere to talk. Baby, I know Tommy is sick in his spirit right now. I don't know if but the videos ain't there. You can't even find Tommy. You put up Tommy or Keeping Up or TL. Nope, you can't find him. Just looked all over. Couldn't find little Tommy. I searched high and low. Still couldn't find little Tommy. Couldn't find little Tommy. Couldn't find little Tommy. Baby, couldn't find him. So what happened, y'all? Do you think Yolanda them got him? I mean, because none of his pages are up. I searched high and low. Ooh, still couldn't find little Tommy. Couldn't find little Tommy. Okay, couldn't find him. Couldn't find little Tommy. So what y'all think happened? Tommy, are you out there? Are you out there, Tommy? What happened to your page? And if they coming for Castro page, I just want to know. Because, baby, that page ain't there no more. Did y'all, I mean, seriously. I'm like, oh my God, is the drinking beer too much? Did you go over the drinking beer limit? I'm just trying to find out. You playing everybody music? I don't know. But, you know, I'm just trying to figure out what would get him taken down. You know what I'm saying? It did the Yaggets and all of that stuff that he called people got his page taken. Tommy, you know why? Is you out there, Tommy? Oh my God. What y'all saying? He threatening. Oh, he be threatening. He be threatening. Yolanda showed the screenshot that the page was terminated. So it's not hidden. My God. Oh my God. Maybe he hit it. No, he's not hit it. They said Yolanda showed it. Well, Jesus. Well, Pastor Castro was on Pizarro with his chest swelled up. I mean, swell. Do you think Castro snatched him? I don't know, child. I don't think Castro did because Castro's scared of that man. And that man live in Castro town. And, you know, he will show up. Baby, they all gone. What's up, Dumples? Oh, I know his page is terminated. I know his page terminated. Baby, I woke up this morning and my mom was stayed on Jesus. And then I went to my phone. And somebody said, Tommy Page is gone. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. And I'm like, good God Almighty. And they sure was gone. I guess he gonna have to get a job. I don't know. Tommy, what's up? Who took your page? Terminated. He had 2 pages that we knew of. And he had gotten one back. He had gotten to Keeping Up with Tommy back. But y'all, I don't know. Girls, y'all can't be threatening people. Y'all cannot be threatening people and calling people Yaggets and all of this stuff. And you only have a certain period of time and they'll snatch your page. Y'all better read these community guidelines. Tommy, what's going on? What's going on? So anyway, Tommy Page got snatched. Pages, excuse me, got snatched. And you know, Yolanda them, baby, they play for keeps. Ooh, y'all typing fast. Why y'all typing fast like that? Pastor All, I know Castro called Tommy last night, and the next thing I know his page was gone. What? Castro called Tommy for what? What did Castro call Tommy for? I know you lying to me. All them threats Tommy be making. Okay. All right. Y'all think it's the threats. But my thing is this. Why is Castro calling Tommy? Why is the abused calling the abuser? Yeah, it's a lot of drinking. Too much drinking. I ain't never seen so many drunk people in my life. I mean, they drank liquor from sun up to sundown. You think they be working on a cotton plantation, how they be drinking. But how did y'all know Castro called Tommy? What proof? Oh, Lord. Let me see what y'all said. Good morning. He said the other morning he was going to mess with Yolanda all day. Okay, but how did we know he called? So did Castro actually call Tommy? It sounds like a very much Stockholm syndrome to me, but I don't know if it's true or not. So I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if it's true or not. I think it's crazy. My feeling is Castro called Tommy to ask him if he wanted a back massage. Child. He may be hungry again. So anyway, y'all, some the short of Castro, it looks so remedial. I'm like, girl, bye, click. I mean, because it ain't cute, especially when you broke and maybe you need to go strip and make some money. I don't know, but it ain't cute. It ain't cute. And like I said, everything revolves around sex. Nothing around academics, nothing around politics, nothing. Everything has to be sex and bad singing. Sex and bad singing. And I'm like, really? Really? Well, he may come on Castro page. You know, he won't come on my page because he's really upset. But if Tommy would have listened, he would have been in a better situation. You can't continue to drink and threaten people, drink and threaten people. And when Tommy is drinking, Tommy does not think. And he says some belligerent things. You know what I'm saying? And so all you got to do is keep on threatening people and saying derogatory things. They'll take your page. And I don't like people's pages getting taken, but I didn't take the page. And again, you gotta blame yourself. What did you do? You know, what did you do? So I don't know. It's some crazy things, but I don't know who took the page. I know the page is gone. The pages are gone. And you know, it is what it is. I mean, you know, Tommy knows what happened, but yeah, it's a lot of things going on. Well, no. A lot of people will not have pages if they continue to do what they do. I mean, a lot of people. So it's just not him. And you know, and then we got these people want to pull up. I mean, it's just really remedial. The sector has gone from really comical roast gag to I'm pulling up. I'm not to say that it never happened, but it was a certain group of people. And I just think that now we just have a bigger group of people, like the people who started the mess in the first place. And this is why I don't give people access to me. This is why I don't. You know, after audio pope, you got 3 times with me. And if you come up and act stupid, I just block you. I'm like, you don't deserve access to me. Absolutely not. And this is why I can't understand that. But yeah, but people like that kind of stuff, y'all. It is. It is. And like I said, with the lemon thing, it is. Y'all, I'm serious. I tried to listen to that and get it. I couldn't get into it. I just couldn't get into it. Somebody said, rip to the YouTuber whose 14-year-old son unalived her and her husband. Wow. 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 I didn't know that happened. But look, YouTube should be an apparatus where you can have a good time, make your money, and move on. All of this stuff, putting your real life and your relationship and all of this stuff on YouTube, it don't work. It don't work. We should have known from that stylist who unalived himself. I mean, people were always in that man's DMs trying to break them up. And I mean, this wasn't beef sector. This was just regular YouTube. We should know this. I mean, you know that people are never going. So you need to really, really keep your private. Because the more you share, the more people want to get in your business. And I mean, you got to be very careful. You got to be very careful. Everybody is not sane. Some people are not even diagnosed. And I just think that you got to be very careful with that. And when I tell people something on YouTube, it's not because I'm trying to control your platform. Either we have seen it or we've been through it, and we're trying to keep you from not going through this stuff. This is why I don't have any empathy or sympathy for Castro and Tommy. We told them, and then they get mad because we talk about it. But my thing is, you should have listened at the beginning. You should have listened at the beginning. So I don't know. Tommy, I think Tommy may be in the clouds. Tommy, if you're in the clouds, really, I'm sorry that your page has gotten taken away. And that's real. I mean, I know you can't stand me now. You used to like me, but you can't stand me. I get it. But I'm sorry that your page has gotten taken away. But these people are nasty. And this is why you got to control that anger and not go beat that boy's behind and do all of that stuff and be threatening. And because, again, it comes back. It comes back. It comes back. And that's the sad part about it. So if you're just joining us, Tommy's pages, not page, but pages plural, are terminated. Don't know why. Don't know how it happened. I do know that a lot of people was verifying that the pages were terminated. So Tommy's pages are terminated. A lot of people think because of his threats and his derogatory remarks about people of the same gender-loving persuasion got his page taken. And threats. I hope he don't go beat Castro tail, because you know he blame everything on Castro. Castro, if it wasn't for you, my page would have been here, and all them people come and took my page because of you, Castro. I'ma get you. I'ma get you, baby. So y'all pray for Castro, because everything that happened in life, Castro, if he stubbed his toe in the night, Castro. Okay, if he choked on some iced tea, Castro. You know he blamed everything on Castro. But you know what, though? Castro had to know that boy had some mental issues. And Tommy even admit that he has mental issues. And because that man have mental issues, you really can't play with people's emotions like that. You really can't. And see, this is what I'm saying. Because we blame Tommy, like Tommy move on, but Tommy may have some mental, I'm just saying. And child, y'all don't mess with crazy. Y'all seen it's a thin line between love and hate with Lynn Whitfield and Martin Lawrence. How she hit herself with a bag of nickels and got him arrested. Oh God. Okay. The gas did it. But y'all see what Castro is doing. I want y'all to see what Castro is doing. See, you all think that Castro is innocent and oh my God, Tommy doing that. Castro is showing you who he really is and how he provokes people. And I want you all to check that out. That's why I just sit back and don't say anything. because Castro really wants to provoke people, and he really wants that reaction. The only difference is he did that to Tommy, and Tommy was in a situation where he could reach out and touch Castro, and that's what he did. Now, Castro is doing this to people who are far away, but he did it to Tommy, and Tommy would show up, and Tommy would look bad. Tommy would look bad, but I do think that Castro provokes, and that's what he's doing. And this is why I don't see it for him. And people talking about something, Jay, you done flipped on him. No, I just see him. I see who he is. I see who he is. And that's all I'm saying. I see who he is. You seen it for yourself, Gubs, girl? Yeah, I see who he is. Both are something else, but one is external and one is internal. But it's that internal mess, and he really provokes people. He was dancing half naked, child by. I saw that mess. I turned it off. I'm like, boy, use your brain. Jehovah's Witness. Castro just used that man for food and shelter. Castro trying to get his number up. I mean, he is. He is. Really, I see what's going on. And I'm like, okay. And he jumping on everybody's panels. And when he start, and see, I would let him on my panel. But when you keep on saying, okay, you're going to continue to be an a-hole, okay, bye, click. I ain't say a word, then argue back. You ain't going to say nothing. No, I'm going to do something, but I don't have to say nothing. I don't engage in that foolishness. Not for somebody drinking pickle juice and eating dry waffles. Oh, hell no. Absolutely not. You got to know who. Some people are just not even worth it. To me, it's almost like King Roman and the Rico thing. I'm just, it is what it is, baby. It is what it is. No, won't do it. Won't do it. You all see how fast that Rico thing just died down? Oh, it was so explosive. See, that's the news cycle. The beef sector is just like the news cycle. When it's hot, and then when it's not, it moves right along. It goes right. That's what I tell people. It moves right along. It moves right along. It moves right along. That Rico thing was so huge and all of that. And as soon as it came, the only thing I think people are looking for now is the court date. And we will see this court date, and that's it. Dry waffles. Well, it's a lot of things going on, you all. Let me say this. All I'm going to say, if you don't like what I'm doing, you can leave. Like with Lemon them, I don't sit up there and say, could you please do better on that? I'll just leave. I'll talk about it on my channel, but I'll leave. But I'll listen to it once or twice. But baby, when you keep on coming over here, I'm like, well, stop coming over here. And then I just block you. So you all, I want to give a shout out again to the state representative who left the state of Texas. Stay away as long as you need to. They are trying to redraw the voting districts in favor of the Republicans. They are cheating right before our eyes. Nobody ain't saying nothing. Nobody ain't doing nothing. These people are trying to take us back. and nobody ain't doing that. Now that's important. Now Tommy Page is entertaining, but what's going on in Texas is important because this man is trying to have the Republicans in charge. And if you like what they doing, then have at it. I don't. Oh yeah, we know. We know Island Diva. We were just talking about it. Um, we know what's going on. Also, y'all, Trump is so brazen. He is trying to get Ghislaine Maxwell off. And I have a problem with that. That lady introduced those women to Epstein. She is an accessory to the crime. And if you're going to do that for her, then you need to do that for all the people in prison. This man, I don't know if we sleep. I don't know if we're just so beaten down by this that we ain't saying nothing. But this is ridiculous. Do you all know that they are closing rural hospitals and clinics as we speak because of this bill that just passed? Y'all need, baby, and I'm saying y'all, be included. You need to see something and say something. It's getting very deep out here. And I'm telling you, for long, you ain't going to be able to speak your mind, say anything. And they're coming after the media. And the media, y'all don't understand. The media is very important because if they can control the media, they control how people think and the news. And it has to be some investigative journalism to call these crazy things out. The media is the fourth estate. And I'm telling you, it is getting bad. Nobody ain't saying nothing. It's getting bad. Do you not know that Trump is firing the person who does the numbers for the jobs because it didn't come out the way he wanted to? But can I tell you that I got friends in Austin and they telling me that Google is laying off, FedEx and UPS is laying people off, Amazon laying people off. And I'm just telling y'all, it's bad. No Starlight, no Starlight, no, absolutely not. You don't get the right to tell me what I talk about. Now, I will talk about Tommy and Castro, but this is important because Tommy and Castro toe up life ain't gonna do nothing for you. That's our problem. And I know we like the salacious stuff, but it's some real shit going on out here. It's some real stuff going on out here. And that's what I'm saying. It's some stuff going on out here. And I don't have a problem with talking about Tommy and Castro. I'm getting back to that, but I'm just being real. And we can talk about people who got mental issues, drinking pickle juice, living with the uncle, and living in poverty, but it's affecting them. It's affecting them as well. So that's what I'm talking about. Let me tell y'all something. I can't believe able-bodied men don't want to work. Do you know how many handicapped and people with physical and mental challenges be working at that Walmart? Let me tell you something. Those people want to go to work. Them people don't want to stay home. They want to be useful to society. Now, I can't understand somebody who really have an excuse to stay home, want to work, but these folks don't want to work. They just want to stay home. I'm being real about that. Let me tell y'all something. It was this man, and he had Down syndrome. Baby, he show up to work every day on time. They got to make him take his lunch break. He like to work that much. Okay, them folk like to work, and they be real nice. Okay, they love to work. And they're the ones who should be staying home. But no, they don't want to stay home. They want to get out there and meet people. They want to prove that they can work. And you got people who can walk. So you got a chronic illness. Okay, or you got a mental challenge that you can take medicine for and get balance, but you don't want to do it because you want to get money. Child, you know they be up there. Thank you. Baby, and I'm like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? They be getting buggy for you. Okay? Baby, they take their job serious. They take their job very serious. Baby, it could be snowing. It could be 9 inches of snow. Baby, they gonna get to work. Baby, them people gonna get to work. Okay, it could be a whole tornado. You got to tell them to stay home because, honey, they will find a way to get to work. Them people love to work. And then you got people who got who can work and they just lazy. Just lazy. And this is the thing. Oh, I'm gonna say it. Oh, I'm gonna make some people mad today. These people want these high-paying jobs, but they didn't sacrifice to get them. Do you not know that most people start on these jobs with low pay and they work and they get raises until they get their money? Okay, I hear you. But nobody don't want to work. Jay Wilson, you think your son with that house? Well, I worked, damn it. I worked. When it was time for me to get another car, I ain't had no problem. Went and got the thing. You know why? Because I work. I'm getting ready to go to Virginia. You know why? Because I work. I'm going to work now. And let me tell you something. I'm never going to retire. Not because I can't. It's because people who retire usually don't make it. Baby, you got to have a purpose in life. And this is why I'm doing things right now. So when I retire, I can do what I want. I'm getting a job right now where I can just come into work and go. And if I want to be out for a week, I can work, be out for a week, and then come on back. Baby, I'm getting ready for my contracting work. Because, baby, y'all, and this is why, now let me say this. It goes right back to the political thing again. It comes right back to the political thing again. Dubs, girl, I see you. It comes back to the political thing again. This is why y'all need to be fighting for Medicare and Medicaid. Because a lot of us, especially Generation X, have paid into Medicare and Medicaid, and I want my shit. You hear me? When it's time for me to retire and I do my contracting jobs, I want to make sure my Medicaid and Medicaid care is there. Period. Period. So, again, y'all can play these games if y'all want to. But Gen X have paid their dues. And let me say this, you all. This is the sad part about it. I knew flight attendants who worked their last 3 years like crazy. to get their money up. And see, y'all don't understand. The jobs you work is what you're going to get from Medicaid and Medicare. So this is why I tell people, you need to be trying to invest in you. Because at the end, if Social Security is still here, you get paid pretty much what you earn. And I don't think people get that. And baby, some of us have earned some good money. I'm going to say this too. If your child goes to the military, help your children out. Tell your children to take college courses in high school. So when they come out, they can have an associate's degree or transfer. I don't have a problem with you sending your children to the military, but send your children to ROTC at a 4-year institution so they can come out as a first or second lieutenant. Because baby, enlisted people get treated a little bit differently than officers. Have your children go to Army or Navy ROTC. So when they get out, they can have a 4-year degree fully paid for by the armed services. And then they can come in as an officer, serve their 4 years, get their benefits, and do all of that. I don't have a problem with y'all sending y'all children to the military, but don't send them enlisted unless they can't make it or can't pass a test. I'm just being real. I just talked to a young man from Florida, and his mama would not allow him to enlist in the military. She said, you're going to go to college. If you want to get in ROTC, that's what we will do. Baby, he thanks his mama every day. He said they talk to them enlisted people like they got crazy. He said he wouldn't have made it in the army had he enlisted in there. I'm just saying. Yeah. Do not send your child to the military enlisted if you can. Please send them to college first. Let them. So I went to Norfolk State. They had Army ROTC and Navy ROTC. The Air Force has their own college, and the Marines fall under the Department of Navy. So every year during graduation, the military, the armed services would march in first, and they would get their degree. Now, they didn't dress in cap and gown. They dressed in their dress uniform, and baby, they would flip them epaulets off, and you'll see either 1 or 2 bars on there, and they were going in as officers. Baby, they going in making money. And a lot of people are like, well, Jay, I don't like that because the enlisted people got to teach them what to do. So everybody got to learn. But the bottom line is, who get paid more, the enlisted or the officer? Stop setting our kids up for the. Make sure your child go in as an officer. That's all I'm saying. Child, they release it, baby, at nursing homes. Yep, they pay for your education. My brother went to Hampton. Yep, I have a friend who went to. Now, let me tell you about Hampton and Norfolk State. It's a major difference. No shade to Hampton. I have 4 friends. 2 went to Hampton, 2 went to Norfolk State. Hampton, partial tuition. Norfolk State, 100%. Norfolk State is known for producing Army officers and Navy. And not saying Hampton don't, but Norfolk has a bulk. It's like they send them boys off and them women off as well. Y'all, they probably are releasing these elders. I'm serious. You know, they're trying to cut Medicaid and Medicare. They don't care. Let me tell you something. When this man was trying to cut Meals on Wheels and try to have people eat box lunches, Trump don't care about these older people. He don't care about these people. Y'all remember he was going to give people box lunches. Yeah, he coming for Section 8. All of that. Do you know how many YouTubers we have that are on public assistance, either by food stamps, WIC, Section 8? And that man is coming for it. And folks acting like they living the life. I'm going to tell you, if Uppity didn't have that girl, she would be gone. You know what? I believe you, Brooklyn Mom. And let me say this. Being a nursing home nurse is tough. You think being a floor nurse at a hospital is tough? Baby, them nursing home nurses get it. And if they don't have enough CNAs or LVNs, you'll be cleaning up boo-boo too. Baby, my aunt said, baby, she had to leave the hospital. She said she wasn't going to wipe nobody's ass no more. She said, the only ass I'm going to wipe is mine. I never get my aunt saying that. She said, I didn't get this degree to be wiping nobody's ass. She said, I did that when I was a CNA. She said, not today. And she went right on to the prisons. And she retired from Florida Department of Correction. Coffee beans, see, this is the people who are infected. See, you're right. Those are the people who are being affected. How many people work in 2 jobs and can't make ends meet? I feel sorry for those people. Now, some rusted Negro who don't want to work, that's a whole nother ballgame. Well, Smooth, she said she gone. And you know what? She went right to the prison. She went right to the prison. She went right to the prison. She said she did that when she was a CNA. She said, God bless. Let me tell y'all something. Nursing seems like teaching to me. And I'm going to tell y'all something. When I taught in high school, I was an excellent teacher. I didn't have any classroom management issues. We would get observed, never had issues. The problem that I had is when you're a good teacher, everybody wants to pile in all of the problem children in your classroom because they know you can handle them. They want you to go on every field trip because they know kids are going to respect you. And what happens is you burn out your good teachers. And good teachers get tired of that. Let me tell you something. Teachers should be making 6 figures. You hear me? When I taught, I had to have my lesson plan. I had to make phone calls. If the child was good, I had to make 10 phone calls, positive phone calls. If I had to write a child up, I had to call their parents. If there was a field trip, I had to be there. If it was a dance after the school, I had to be there. I had to go to the teachers' meetings. Then they want you to track everything. Everything is a number. And it's like, well, how much more can we do? How much more can we do? If the child is not getting the concept, it's the teacher's fault. Nevertheless, the children don't do their homework. And homework is on computers now. And let me say this. Parents are part of the problem, not the whole problem. The problem is the system. You don't want to pay teachers. You have too many kids in that classroom. Special ed kids should be in special ed classrooms. They should only be integrated during times like social studies and stuff. You cannot have those special ed kids in math and English if they have behavior problems. Then you better make sure you follow that IEP, because everybody don't follow that IEP. And if those kids have accommodations, you better be doing them accommodations. And I was pissed. Let me tell you something, baby. I was pissed so much, I complained. It was time for me to go. It was time for me to go. It was time for me to go. Baby, all of my kids had passed the STAR test preliminary before they take the STAR test. But the language and the special ed kids did not pass for the most part. Those were the kids who did not pass. I was pissed because those special ed kids took that test in my class. They should have been in their own area with their accommodations. Number one, how you gonna have language cheering who don't speak English, but you don't have no ESOL teacher, no English second language teacher? And you know them tests gonna be in English. If your school does not have an ESL teacher, they are doing a disservice to English second language students, because it makes them look bad. And that's why I left. I'm like, y'all can't blame me for this. I'm not an ESL teacher. I'm not a special ed teacher. So why am I hearing this spiel about these children should be passing? Now, I integrate things to help them out in my lesson. I have sat back. Baby, let me tell you something. How do you get kids in the 9th grade that cannot read and barely know how to write? I do not know, but I seen it. I had to go over compound, complex sentence, simple sentences. I had to teach these kids what a coordinated conjunction and a subordinated conjunction was. I'm like, you should have learned this in middle school, elementary school, before you got to middle school. They did not know a syllable. I'm like, you don't know how to tell a syllable? Her name is Tanya. Tanya has 2 syllables, Tanya. So we were doing poetry, and in a haiku, I think it is 575. Well, anyway, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables, I believe. Right? These kids didn't even know how to do syllables. So we couldn't even do a haiku, a poem, a Japanese poem, because they didn't know what syllables were. What? Child. Let me say this too. If you have a child in school, you need to check their work. I've seen teachers passing kids because they did not want to have to call parents and do all of this stuff. I've seen a paper, and I'm like, why does this child have a B? This is a D- paper. If you don't check, your kids think they are doing wonderful. And then when they get to college, reality hits. Check these children's paper. I used to make my kids write before they even got on a computer, because I needed to know their writing pattern. Because what you're not going to do is get on Chat GPT and let the Chat GPT write your paper. When it was time for research, you can't use Google. You can use these sources, Newsweek. You need to know what reputable sources are. This is why I believe that Trump wants to tap the Department of Ed, because these kids can't even decipher what's reputable and a reliable source and what's not a reliable source. So if we could fool our children and keep them uneducated, this is what we get. They don't know how to think. They don't know how to make inferences. Baby, I used to teach them inferences. Those kids don't know what a hypothesis is. I'm like, what is the hypothesis? What? What is the educated guess? And then you're going to do the research to make sure, baby, you got to teach these kids. See, let me tell you something. Education is important. Being a lifelong learner is important. You got to ask who, what, when, where, how, and why. Teachers should be paid 6 figures for what they're doing. They don't even do speech anymore. In Texas, speech is not even in the curriculum. I'm like, well, how are these kids are going to learn how to speak and do public speaking? Now, I used to teach speech online, and I didn't understand, how can you teach speech online? And I think that teaching speech online has its advantages and disadvantages in teaching it on the campus. So I used to teach speech on campus, and that was easy. You know, we did our information speech, our persuasion speech, you know, introduction speech, all of those speeches, you know, that we did. And it was great. I used to tell kids, you know, you can't do a lot of ums and ahs. I used to have an and ah counter, and, you know, using hand gestures, eye contact, you know, you can't just look at one part. You got to scan the room, that type of thing. I would teach people how to do breathing exercises to calm their fears, not standing and holding on the podium. You know, it was really helpful. So when I started teaching speech online, they had to have their speech right. They would record their speech, and it had to be perfect. I had to see hand gestures. Their camera had to be waist high so I could see their hands, their movements, and the camera. They had to look into the camera. So what the speech online did, it made those students stronger when they did their interviews online. Because, you know, a lot of interviews are done online. And it really helped them. It really helped them. So they don't even teach that anymore. They don't even teach speech anymore. So we are really dumbing down our education. Really, we are. And all I'm saying is you all really need to be checking on your nieces and nephews and make sure they're getting the education that they deserve. Because right now, this education system is watered down. Let me tell you, in the state of Texas, the STAR test is very interesting. So you have masters, which means that you know the material. You have meets, that means you are averaged at that material. You have approaches. Approaches means that you're close but no cigar. Then it is, you know, you did not meet and critical. Those are the, baby, do you not know that you can get into the mid 40s and get an approach? So if I have a student, which I thought was appalling, could make a 47 on an English STAR test and pass. A 47. Now, if you old school like me, okay, so I went to school, and there were a couple of schools where it was hard because, you know, they used to use the 90 to 100 A, 80 to 89 B, 70 to 79 C, 60 to 69 D, and anything under 60, 59 below was an F. There was some schools where 95 to 100 was an A. So, you know, they use that 5, you know, point increment. But for the most part, it was 10-point stretch, right? They don't do that no more. Anything that was below a 59 was an F, period. Period. And a 60 to 69 was a D. In college, you can pass with a D. You can pass non-major classes. Non-major classes, that's the kicker, with a D. But when you transfer it, they won't transfer. This is how college keep you in. Because if you got some D's, you're going to think twice about leaving that school because Other schools are not going to take that D. So it was a pass with stipulations. Baby, we really need to, black folk, educate your children with Khan Academy. Khan Academy will help you with anything. Khan Academy is awesome with math, English. You can go on YouTube. It's no excuse anymore. Back in the day, we didn't have no Khan Academy unless your church offered tutoring. And shout out to the churches back in the day, because in my community, churches offered tutoring. They would have retired teachers to come in, and I never forget, on Tuesday and Thursdays, they offered tutoring. You had a math tutor and an English tutor. And I remember retired teachers, they had it at the Baptist church and they had it at the Church of God in Christ. This particular Church of God in Christ had a very progressive pastor. And we would get our tutorial. Now you can go online. And so that's all I'm saying. Baby, don't make sure your children are getting their education. Child, don't mention Georgia. Ooh, Georgia's struggling. And a lot of these doctors are going to schools overseas. So a lot of these Caribbean schools, I don't know how good they are, but a lot of people are going to these Caribbean schools where they have low test exams. And yeah, a lot of people going to them Caribbean schools. So yeah. So anyway, y'all, I'm saying all of this to go right back to what we see on YouTube. A lot of people don't have opportunities because they didn't invest in themselves. But it is never too late to invest in yourself. It is never too late. This is why you can't tear me down. See that trailer park thing? That don't bother me. It goes to show you that in America, that if you really apply yourself, you can make it. But it was a different era when we were growing up. Our neighborhoods raised us. Now, don't get me wrong. Our parents did not give us to the neighborhoods. They raised us too. But baby, the neighborhood raised you. The neighborhood told you, you're going to go to college because you ain't going to be working like me. See, this is what I'm saying. This is why I don't think I'm better than nobody, because the people who encouraged me to go to school didn't have no college degree. But they knew that education was important. And they didn't want me to have to work hard like they did. And I appreciate them people. But see, that's where my work ethic comes in. Because, baby, when I got laid off, I said I got a car and I got a house. I got some money. Ain't no shame in my game. I told somebody, if you pay me right, I'll clean the toilet. Hey, see, that's the problem. You so bougie. No. I'm going to do whatever it takes. Work is work. My education is for my benefit, but work and education are two different things. My education can get me into some places where if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be able to get in. It will give me access, but my education will never make me not want to work. I know people right now got their lights cut off because they got a master's degree and they some of them jobs beneath them, but you got your lights turned off. So what sense did that make? What is that master's degree doing for you with your lights cut off? You can't go to the electric company and say, "Oh, I got a master's degree. Could you keep my lights on?" Baby, they cut lights off, degrees or not. If you don't have that payment, clink, it's gone. See, that's the problem. And the problem is people don't really know the value of education. And all people have taught that if you get an education, you get a good job. Not necessarily. If you get an education, you can think logically, hopefully. Some people go to college for the wrong reasons. I'm just saying. Do you not know that even when some of our people, Zora Neale Hurston is a good example of a woman at the top of her game. When she died, she was working as a maid. Zora Neale is from Florida. Child, she lived in Fort Pierce, Florida. I'm like, ooh, Zora, that was a tough time. Y'all, anybody know about Fort Pierce, honey? Fort Pierce is a gang 'em up, bang 'em up type of city. Honey, that Avenue D will have you messed up. So to the fact that Zora Neale Hurston was living in Fort Pierce, I'm like, damn. But with her education, how many of y'all seen Karina? That's based on something that's real. Whoopi Goldberg's character had a bachelor's degree and smarter than the man she was working for, but she had to be his nanny and maid. Child. And if y'all don't watch it, it'll be the same way. Baby, people came for trailer parks. Baby, look, I saw a trailer going for $275,000. A trailer. I'm like, you lying to me. So this is why I say, Castro and Tommy do better. And I'm not saying that to be negative, but baby, come October, it's going to be some changes. And you think your SNAP card is rejecting you now. Oh, wait till October. It's not only going to reject you, but it's going to be diminished. And your benefits are going to be diminished. Section 8 vouchers, I don't know how long that's going to last, because Trump don't want y'all moving into nice neighborhoods. He wants y'all all together in the hood, because that's where he think y'all should be. Pastor, did your siblings go to college too? Good question. So my oldest brother went to trade school, and he was in construction and carpentry. My other brother went to school for criminal justice, and he retired from the Florida Department of Corrections. My two sisters got an associate degree, and they went to the Space Center to work. Then I had another sister got an associate's degree. Now, this is funny. For me and the siblings below me, I finished all of my degrees. My sister under me finished her bachelor's degree, and my sister under her finished her master's degree. So everybody before me at least got a 2-year degree or went to trade school. And everybody below me finished their 4-year degree or higher. So everybody went to school. My brothers went to the military first, and then they used their GI Bill to finish up their school. But my mom never went to college. My dad didn't go to college. You say Humana is cutting as well? Wow. Yeah. And let me say this, you all. Those two sisters ahead of me, beautiful homes. MB had a chance to visit them. I have a sister in Orlando. She's doing well. Sister, all of my family, as big as we are, they're doing well. My 2 brothers, unfortunately, passed. One died of COVID. So, I was very sad about that. And so, yeah, but I'm like I said, I got my sisters. All of them are still with me, and they're doing really well. We don't have a whole lot of money borrowing. However, if we needed to, we would do that for each other. But let me say this, y'all. Education is important. Don't sleep on it. Don't let people tell you it ain't important. And let me say this, you can learn, but we know what people value. And the people who are always telling people college is not important, they got a college degree. See, that's the thing. And, if you look at history, college was only for the wealthy. It was only for the wealthy. It was only for the wealthy. So, yeah. Whenever people try to tell you not to do something, it's a reason. When they tell you not to vote because your vote don't count, because they don't want you to vote. And let me say this, you all. I'm proud of mine too. And you should be proud of that accomplishment. That is 4 years of your life where you're learning. And whether you went online or went on campus, it don't matter to me. We try to put online learning down. Now every college got an online component, or they're trying to get one. Because everybody's not going to walk in your brick and mortar campus anymore. But education is important. Long as your school is regionally accredited, and I'm on that, then go for it. University of the People. Now, I think I'm going to talk about University of the People. It is a regionally accredited online tuition-free school. The only thing you pay for are fees. That school is dirt cheap. University of the People. If you don't know about it, if you want a 4-year degree that is tuition-free, you just pay for your fees. University of the People. I have a employee now, and they only have 1 more week, and that degree is stronger than anybody else's degree because it's a regionally accredited institution. So if you don't know about University of the People, you need to check it out. I talk about Sailor.org and Straighterline. I talk about them all the time. But University of the People is a game-changing university. And it is accredited by the Western Southern Colleges Association, which is in California. And it's a regionally accredited institution. University of the People. Coffee Bean, let me tell you something. At some point in time, you get tired. Can I say that? Let me say something. I'm not afraid of hard work. But when I was in high school, I worked for the first job I had that I got FICA taken out of was Burger Chef. And then it turned into Hardee's. Baby, that was the hardest work for the lowest pay. First of all, you had to make all the food. And then if you worked that night shift, you had to clean up that grill, that floor, all of that. The morning shift had it easy because all they had to do was just get up and boom, boom, boom. The night shift was the cleaning shift. I'm like, And then I saw, and this is not funny, I saw people who were in their 50s and stuff working that job. Then I went retail. Retail is cute, but you on your feet all the time. And, commission and all of that stuff. And the commission structure always benefited the company. And those jobs were why I do what I do now. I'm not afraid to work jobs, but since I work those low retail and those fast food jobs, I ain't mad at it. Now, let me say this. Restaurant managers make good money. They make good money. But I'm talking about the average worker. Oh, hell no. And you be smelling like French fries and coffee beans. You be smelling like French fries and mop water. Child, I'm like, I said, it gotta be better than this. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. And that really, and again, I made up in my mind, y'all, let me say this. It was a manager, and she was in her mid-60s. And I saw how she worked. I was so happy when she retired. But I was like, I don't want to be like this. I said, now I still want to work, but not like this. Not like this. I want to be in my office or, but not like this. Not like this. So that's why I tell all my beauticians and all my barbers to have a secondary plan, because, a lot of beauticians get carpal tunnel with all of that gripping and all of that. And then the barbers usually have that buzz, and then their feet start hurting because they standing all the time. So even with that, and this is the thing that used to get me with the barbers and the hairdressers. You're an independent contractor. Unless you work for J.C. Penney's or, you're an independent contractor. So, you gotta be very careful with your money. Extremely careful with your money. So I don't put stuff down. I know people like Jay, I say live your dream, but have a second act. Always have a second and third act after that. So it goes back, again, Tommy Castro, y'all really it's called self-preservation. You really, really have to take care of yourself, because nobody else will. Don't get me wrong. I love the Lord and I believe God is taking care of me. But God has given us a talent, and you can't bury it in the ground. And it kills me with a lot of these church people. They believe God gonna do everything for them. No. He's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we ask or think, according to the power that works in you. So God said, if you work your power, I enhance it. But you got to work your power. You got to do something. Amen. You got to do something. You better work smarter and not harder. That's it. That's it. So don't let these people fool you. Living on the system ain't cute either. When people are telling you how you can spend your money and you can only make so much money, because if you make this much money, we're going to take your money. Child. So again, y'all, yeah, we clown and messy, but baby, this is a word for somebody. Invest in yourself. Stop shortchanging yourself. We ain't gonna ever reach our full potential, but we should be trying. Do not shortchange yourself. Invest in you. Know that these companies don't give a flying flip about you, baby. They'll lay you off in a heartbeat. And I'm real about that. So you have to always be looking out. Let me tell you something. Honey, my resume is always ready. Always ready. Always ready. Every job, boom, 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 boom. I go right to that job description. Boom. Resume ready. Because you don't know when these people going to lay you off. Especially in this economy. You better be ready. Am I right about it? And your resume better be electronic, because people ain't taking physical paper resumes no more. I don't even use cards no more, baby. I got an electronic card. You take a picture of it, and the QR code come up, boom. That's how I do my card, baby. I don't even carry cards no more. I'm saving the planet. Amen. I don't even do cards no more. I don't know if y'all know about Blink. I think that's what it is. I gotta check it out. But it's an electronic card. So, I have a personal one and I have a business one. I sure do. I don't even carry cards no more. Boo. I don't have no cards. You got your cell phone? Okay, here it is. You know what? I have reached what I wanted to reach. My goal is to just keep doing things. I want to challenge me. Like this promotion, I didn't expect this promotion. Baby, these young folk were fighting over this promotion, but baby, I came out. And let me say this. Don't sleep on your older people because again, experience. Now, let me say this to my older people. You have to be experienced, but know your technology. And see, a lot of older people don't get the job because they don't know their technology. They be active. Baby, you got to be vigorous and rigorous. And so I knew my technology. And not only did I know my technology, but I had experience. And experience matters. Oh, it really matters. And so right now I am challenging myself. I'm challenging myself. I'm in a position now, though, where I'm in a good position. I'm in a very, very good position. And it's awesome. My management style is if I hire you, then you know how to do the job. Once we give you your training, it is yours. I am hands off. I look at your numbers. I look at what you're doing. I have monthly check-in sessions with my people. I don't allow my managers to micromanage people. I tell people, put it on the calendar. If it changes, put it on the calendar. See, because with me, if you ain't doing what you need to do in the field, your mileage report gonna talk. You see, I'm saying I don't need to be micromanaging. And my people are doing extremely well because there is trust. If there's an issue, I will bring you in and say, hey, this is my issue. Or this is what you need to improve. And I check in with people. I treat people like they are professionals. I let them figure some problems out. There's some things that I need from them, but I let them figure it out. I don't try to figure everything out. I do them just like I did my high school students. You got to figure it out. I want you all to turn and talk. Turn and talk. Talk to your neighbor. What does that mean? So that's how, I mean, really, I'm not a micromanager. And then I ask questions. So why do you feel that? What do you think would be sufficient? And sometimes I already know the answer, but I want to see what they're going to come up with. But that's my thing. If I hire you, and I don't hire people who you either have to be at my level or above. I don't want to hire people who don't think outside the box. I want smart people on my team, but I do know a lot of managers who like to hire people who they can control, and that's never good. So anyway, y'all, I said a lot today, but I mean what I say, and so hopefully that helps somebody. I feel good about what we did today. I don't know why Tommy's page is gone. I don't know if Lemon did call the police or not. I know that some of y'all don't like this kind of talk, but baby, we need this kind of talk. Because we're in a day and age now where things are getting taken away. And if you're not a critical thinker, you're going to get swept away. There's a lot of things going on out there. So anyway, let me go. I got to get to my office, but it was good talking to y'all. Y'all be blessed. I'll talk to y'all maybe during lunch. Peace and love. Bye. Yeah, his page gone, girl.